Hi everyone, hope you are well. Apologies for being a couple of minutes late. I run my coaching program with my clients on a Friday morning, so I was just finishing off a session with them and I needed a quick wee, so hence why I'm just a little bit late. So hopefully we're all on. Okay, morning. Let me know if you are watching live. We should be. Okay, cool. We're all live. Good. Just tagged everyone, so that should. Is that working? Let me just make sure we've got everyone. Yes. Okay, so I've just notified. So let me know if you're watching live and how you're getting on. If you're watching it on a replay, give me a #replay. I'm going to be announcing the winner of the one-to-one. I've got all the names in the draw, and we're going to be doing today, and I'll give you all a recap as well once we've got a few more people on as well. So day 4, oh my god, it's been a great week. I've absolutely loved this week. I do love running my challenges, and it's a double-edged sword because they're really like uplifting, it's buzz, and but also they can, because so much work goes into them, you kind of get this come down as well, but that's fine. So morning everyone, hope you're well, lovely to see you all. Okay, Pippa was halfway through watching yesterday's live, no problems at all. So thanks for joining live. If you're watching this on replay, give me a #replay. Now, just to let you know, if you haven't had time to, sorry, my watch is going off and I don't know why. If you haven't had time to catch up with all the other days, they will be available to watch up until the end of next week. So next Friday, you can do that and then, watch them, do the challenges, etc. All the challenges, in order to be in with a chance to win the prizes, need to be done by Sunday evening. I will be picking all the winners on Monday, okay, and I'll share more about that a little bit later. But I just want to kind of recap on what we've done over the week. So day 1, the challenge was to check your profiles and also kind of talk about what you wanted to earn in April. Okay, I've had a couple of messages from some people that have said that they've implemented a few things from this week and they've achieved, or they've already got clients booking in for next month and they've achieved their goal for next month. So that's brilliant. I think it was Sarah that popped something in the group last night, but I've had a couple of messages as well. So love hearing that, because it just means that what you're implementing is working. And it's just, just imagine if you hadn't joined the challenge, would you have been able to implement those things? So that's great. So yeah, so it was talking about, so day 1 was talking about what you wanted to earn and then talking about your values. Then on day 2, we looked, what your task was to introduce yourself and tag me and use the hashtag, but it was also about then checking your profiles to make sure that your profiles were telling people what it is that you do, making sure your banners were all up to date, your bios were all up to date as well. And then yesterday's challenge was about planning your kind of Q2, the rest of the year, but also then planning your social media for April and then popping the plan in the group. There is a PDF of the plan in the group as well, and then you can just put that there. All right, so that's what we've kind of been covered over over that time, which is great. So today it's about actually pulling it all together, and it's kind of the last missing piece of the jigsaw that I want to talk to you about today. And it's we've looked at what you want to earn, Okay, we've looked at how making sure that your social media profiles tell people what you do. We've looked at making sure that your content is a clear message as well, because that's really important, is making sure you have a clear message. It's also making sure that you are being visible and consistent with what you're doing. And, we spoke yesterday about, are 3 posts enough a week to put out there? And on some platforms, yes. So, if you wanted to kind of do 3 TikToks a week, that's fine. If you want to do 3 LinkedIn posts, that's not a problem at all. But where the way that social media works and moves, it's actually about making sure that you're visible and you're consistent. And I kind of used the term yesterday that you get to a point where you feel, can everyone hear me, or is it just Tracy saying that she's having an issue with sound, or is everyone else having that issue? Just check before I carry on. I presume everyone can hear me. It might be Tracy worth coming out and then going back in again. So Tracy, what I would suggest doing is come off the live, clear, if you're watching on your phone, clear your history. If it's on a desktop, just close everything down, restart, and then come back in. Okay, that might help. Okay, cool. So the other thing that we need to think about is how we become visible and how we kind of start building those relationships with people. And we've already got a network. Okay, you've got people that you're connected with on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. You've got people that like your business page. You've got people that follow you. You've got people on your email marketing list. It's not about quantity, okay? It's about quality. But quantity does come into it in a certain way. And I'm talking, yesterday I was talking about the funnel. I mentioned the funnel quite a few times. And it's a little bit like, the more people you've got in the top, the more people the better chance you have of people coming through that become clients. So we do need to have a large audience, but we need to make sure we've got the right audience. And there'll be a lot of people that will come to me, and I whenever I start working with someone, I always say, what are the 3 things you want to achieve from your social media? Normally one is understanding what they're doing with their social media, their marketing, having more revenue, and also I've had things like, I want more followers. I want more than 10,000 followers on my Instagram. And I ask them the question, why do they want more followers? Oh, because that's what I've been told I need to have. I think if I have more followers, more people will buy my products, because they'll see me as being someone, um, that's big, and they'll want to use me over someone that's only got 2,500 people. Not at all. Okay, there's not at all. Okay, people buy people, and it's about being genuine. And what happens is, if you've got 10,000 followers, normally what you would on, especially if on Instagram, it's more than likely that a lot of those have been purchased, or a lot of them are not interested in actually being your client. And that's what you need to make sure you're connecting with. You're connecting with people that are going to be your potential clients, or they know people that are your potential clients that they will recommend you. And that is real. That's key. So when what we need to think about is connecting with people and how we continue to build this up. And it's a little bit like going down your local pub. I know a lot of us don't go down to the local pub much anymore, but I used to live next door to I used to work in a pub called Golden Hine. I worked there for a few years. I met my first husband there, and then when we moved house a few years after, and we moved next door to a pub. It was a lovely little local pub, but what I loved about it was that actually we could open our back gate and actually go into the pub garden. But what I loved about it was just full of local people, and there would be people in there on their own drinking, and they would be drinking, but they knew they were with friends. But they built relationships with these people. They didn't go in together all together. They, you know, they would go in on their own, order a pint, but their mates would be there. So, oh, did you, Claire? Oh, do you know what? I had many and many happy memories working there. I loved my job there. When I started, I digress now. So Claire and I used to go to school together, down in good old Portsmouth, because we're both Pompey girls. When I worked in the Golden Hind, I lied about my age. So I was working, I left school, I went to work as an estate agent. I couldn't be bothered with college and uni and everything else. I went and got, you know, had got a job. And I wanted, by the time I was 18, I wanted my first house. That was my goal. So I left school, went and worked in an estate agent, and I would work in the estate agent Monday to Saturday, because we didn't work Sundays then. People just didn't work Sundays then. That's how old I am. I would then go home with where my parents lived. I would have my dinner, and then I would go to the pub. And then I would go to the pub. I would work in the pub in the evening, literally every night of the week. And then when I'd finished working in the pub, because I lied about my age, but because I'd been going in there for years, because it was at the end of our road, they didn't think anything of it. So I was working in the pub, mainly in the restaurant, but normally behind the bar as well. We won't tell anyone that. And we were, I would then go out clubbing with my mates. Okay, so that, and then I would get in at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I'd start my week. I think the only night I didn't go out was a Monday night, but I would work. So, but I wanted to, you know, get my deposit for my house and everything else. So yeah, so that's what I did. So the pub analogy is what I always love, because I always remember, you know, people just standing at the bar, and they became your friends. They became, I mean, one of them became my husband, well, my ex-husband, but you know, we're still good friends, so don't worry about it. And that is what it's kind of like. Your social media is now kind of like that social place that we make friends, we meet people, and where we then take that is up to us. But most of the time it's actually them becoming our clients, our customers. So how do we do that? You need to be connecting with your target audience. So one of the things I want you to think about is, who is your target audience? I don't want you to go and sit there and say, oh, it's Jane, she's got blonde hair, she does this at the weekends, and she listens to this kind of music, and she eats this kind of food. What I want you to think about is, really simply, who is your potential client, and where are they hanging out, and where can you find them? Now, for some people, connecting through finding them on Instagram might be really difficult. So you then have to then think to yourself, actually, is Instagram the platform for me? Would I be better off being on LinkedIn or Facebook? Or would I actually be better off just focusing all my time on Facebook and go into Facebook groups? It might be that your target audience is actually hanging out on all the social media platforms. And when I say all, I'm talking about LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. Okay, they may be on, if you use Twitter, fine, but they're the three that I'm kind of talking about. If you went and was on all social media platforms, there's over 100. You can't physically do that. So you need to, and this is why it's really important to know who your ideal client is, because it's really easy for us to get into the hype and say, right, I'm going to be on Facebook and Instagram because that's where I think I need to be. But if your ideal client isn't hanging out on Instagram, or you can't connect with your ideal client on Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook, then it's not going to work. Okay. So Claire's asked, do you think a Facebook group would be better than a page? Okay, so no right or wrong here. If you have a Facebook page and you have a following and you are creating social media content, continue to post to your page, because you still have people looking at it. All right. And remember, people are always watching. So don't stop posting to your Facebook page. If you have any social media following, ideally, and you're creating social media content and you use scheduling, it doesn't take 2 minutes to actually schedule that post onto all of your social media platforms. It's what you do after that's important. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. But the difference between a group and a page, so having a group is is a great idea because you can make it private, you can make it kind of VIP. What you put in there you might not put anywhere else. So my group, for example, on Facebook, where I offer tips, and I've got some really exciting news coming about my group as well, next week. I put stuff in there that I don't share I don't really share anywhere else on my social media. I do, I give people an opportunity to promote themselves. But what I would kind of think about is actually what's the purpose of using the group? You can have a public group, you can have a private group. Public group goes out, but you've still got to bring people into that group. What works actually better is using your personal profile. Okay, and this is quite scary. And Facebook personal profiles are a great tool. I've used them for over 10 years to build my businesses, because before I had my social media business, I had two other businesses, or actually three other businesses that I used social media to promote. Okay, and they all were very, very successful businesses. They just weren't right. I got to a point where they weren't right for me, and that's what's opened the door for me to do what I do now. And seeing that I've done this now since 2015, I think you can safely say that I'm quite happy doing it with it. If I don't like something, I don't do it. I'm somebody that makes a decision very, very quickly. And like if I didn't want to work within a job, I'd be like, right, don't want to do this anymore, I'm going to go and find a new job. Or for me, when it was my business, it was like, I'm not really loving this anymore. What else could I do to move my skills? So, but I love what I do. But what you have to remember is, with your personal profile, it is a gem, absolute gem. Facebook personal profiles, if you are not using it, you need to be thinking about why you're not using it. And a lot of it is mindset, because of the word personal, we automatically think that it's for personal things. So we don't want people to know what's going on in our personal life. Sorry, my nose is running. We don't want people to know what's going on in our personal life. But actually think of it as a additional business page. Think of it of how you can promote you and your business. If you want to go and stalk me and have a look at my Facebook, you'll see that I do both. I promote my business, I promote me. It isn't just about personal stuff. I'm quite happy. If I'm happy for it to go out on my social media and for people to know about, it will go on there. Okay. I've got no issues at all with. I'm quite happy to put the photos of the kids on. But again, it's finding what works for you. But the beauty of having a personal profile, we've now got what's known as professional mode. And professional mode allows us to use our personal profiles like business pages. So we can run ads, we can get insights, we can grow our following as well. And that's not limited. We can continue to have friends sending us friend requests. And just building our business. But the great thing is, more people will see our posts on our personal profile to what they will on our business page. But don't stop doing both if you have both. I post to both. What goes out on my personal profile goes out on my business page. Okay, because I have a separate audience. Out of all the people that follow my business page, I think only a quarter I'm actually friends with on Facebook. So I've got a whole audience that I'm not connected with. So I've got to make sure that they're seeing what I do. The other thing that I love about using my personal page on Facebook is that I control who I connect with. So I can have a look and see who my target audience is. I can connect with those people. I can look to see if we have mutual friends, and I can grow it. And then, whereas with my business page, I can't do that. With your group, it's pretty much the same thing as well, because you've got to invite people to your group and then hope that they will accept that invitation as well. So as I said, I use my personal Facebook group all the time. Sometimes I forget I have a business page. Yeah, it's easy, not to forget that we do have a business page. But remember that it is there. And I spoke the other day about any social media platforms that you've got. make sure that they're up to date. Even if you're not using them, just make sure that they are up to date. So there is no right or wrong whether you want a Facebook page, Facebook personal profile, or a Facebook group. It's how you manage them and how you use them effectively, and what they're going to kind of do for you. A lot of people are closing their groups down now. I've had a couple of clients that have said, that's it, they're closed. I had one client who has 17,000 people in her group, and she's just closed it down. Well, she's closing it down at the end of this month. And the reason for that being is that it's just not doing what she wants it to do anymore. And now she's focusing all of her time and energy on her Facebook page. So it's what is right for one person isn't necessarily right for someone else. As I said, I say this all the time. If I had to choose one, it would be my personal profile all day long. So what do we need to do to start building our friends up in our local pub? Okay, so think of your social media as your local pub, your local hangout, and you go on your own for a drink. Okay, and that's quite scary, but we need to start making friends. We've got the people that we already know, that's fine, but we're a little bit bored of having conversations with them now. We're talking about the same thing. We need some fresh blood to talk to speak to tell them what it is that we do. And this is why connecting with people is so important. So with Facebook, that would be knowing where your ideal client hangs out. So do they hang out in groups? Are they on your social media? Are they mutual friends of your friends already? Instagram, you're going to have to use keywords and hashtags to find those. Or are your Facebook friends on Instagram and not on Facebook? They're on Facebook, but they're not using Facebook. They're using Instagram. I've got a lot of people that are on Instagram and Facebook, but they don't use Facebook. They comment all the time on my Instagram posts. Or are they hanging out on LinkedIn? Now, it's really bizarre because a lot of people write LinkedIn off and go, then my ideal client isn't in there. But how do you know that your ideal client isn't hanging around, isn't having a drink in LinkedIn? Claire, I'm going to pick on you, for example. Claire does hair extensions, hairdressing. Her ideal client is on LinkedIn because it's that professional female who wants to look good and wants to have her hair done every 6 to 8 weeks. So it's a potential market. It's just finding the right market. And the great thing is with LinkedIn, you can connect with people that live in your area. So if you aren't national, my products and services are national and international. But a lot of us work within certain areas. So you can select people that you want to target. Think about who your current customers and clients are. What do they do as a profession? That gives you a starter. So Claire, I'm picking on you again. If you have Sarah that comes in and has her hair done and she's a customer service agent for a finance company, you know that, well, actually, if Sarah's my ideal client, there must be more of them hanging out on LinkedIn. So you can start searching for them from there as well. And you do this with Instagram with your hashtags. Think about what your clients and customers are into. What do they like doing? And use those hashtags to draw them in. Don't necessarily use the hashtags to promote your business and your products and your services. Think about what hashtags your potential clients and customers are following or would be searching, those kind of keywords as well. Okay, so I've had a couple of comments, so I'll read those. So Abba said, I meant to say I use my personal Facebook, not group. Yeah, perfect. That's brilliant. Gemma said, my ideal client is definitely on LinkedIn. Yep, brilliant. Emma's heading to work. We'll catch up later. Perfect. Pippa said, I've only been using LinkedIn for the past 2.5 years in business. I'm looking at doing more on Facebook and having a Facebook business page. Okay, so I'm going to answer Pippa's question there. With reference to using Facebook, when you do start using Facebook, think of Facebook as actually a duplication of your LinkedIn. And when you have that mindset and go into Facebook and using it that way, it makes a massive, massive difference. And then it's just about connecting with people. So one of the things that you could do is go through your LinkedIn connections and see if those connections are on Facebook and connect with them that way, because it's more than likely that they are. Then what that will do is that will then open up your connections in Facebook, because let's say, Pippa, you connect with Jane on LinkedIn and Jane's got a Facebook, and Jane uses Facebook to promote her business, and Jane is your ideal client. It's more than likely that she might be hanging around with other of your ideal clients as well. So you can start looking at Jane's friends and seeing if you have mutual friends and start connecting with them that way as well. So yeah, and the same goes for any platform that you're using. It's just looking to see where your friends are hanging out, and you'll be amazed at how many people use social media platforms and actually don't get any business from it. And it's kind of like, why are you still using them then? And it's that fear that, well, if I stop using it, what if my next client comes along the next day? It's unlikely that they are, I'm afraid. But and you might think to yourself, actually, I need to divert my time. There's one of two things. If you're not getting business from a social media platform, it could be that platform isn't for you because your ideal client isn't hanging out, or it's because you're not using it in the right way. Okay, so it's normally good to find out if you are using it in the right way first before you make a decision about dumping and running and going on to a new platform, because starting on a new platform is really difficult, especially here, because Pippa said that she's thinking of starting a business page. If you don't have a business page already and you're starting one up, they're really hard to get started, because the only way you can invite people to, well, there's a couple of ways that you can invite people to like your business page. One is paid ads, okay? The other is by inviting your friends that you are connected with on Facebook to like your business page. But if your friends that you have at the moment on Facebook aren't your ideal client, do you really want them liking your business page? So this is why professional Facebook profiles, which is your personal profile, are great, because you don't have to create something. You just reinvent what you've already got. It's really easy to start connecting with people, that you might be connected with. And there's no harm, you all connecting with each other in this group, because again, if you've kind of seen someone's name on one of the challenges or one of the challenging posts, don't be afraid to connect with those people. There might be some way that you can collaborate, you can work together, you can build friendships. Over the years where I've run challenges, the amount of people that have come together to become friends is great. It's absolutely brilliant. But that's what you do. You're building friends, you're building relationships. You're not selling, okay? That's the first thing we're not doing. We're not going in for the hard sell, all right? We're not. We're building friendships and relationships. We do need to find our ideal client, but we're not selling to them, okay? So Claire has said, I need to start using LinkedIn, but it baffles me. I think a new platform can be quite baffling. Definitely. It's just learning how to use it. But it's like with anything, isn't it? Once you learn how to do something, it becomes so much easier. I love to learn. Every day's a school day for me. And I do get a lot of people that do stuff for me. But before I get them to do it, I want to learn about it. So one of the things that I'm focusing on in Q2 is my PR. But I'm not just bringing a PR agency in to do it all for me. I want to learn how to do it as well, so that when they're doing it for me, I understand what they're doing. And also it just gives me more of an insight, and I can put my thoughts into it as well. So always learn how to do something. It's great. And learn from an expert as well. Don't try and muddle through yourself. And I often get people that come to me and say, oh Sam, I've had loads of people message me this week about booking in one-to-ones, which is great. But the other thing is as well, I know that there is thousands and thousands of information that you can get on the big world wide web. It's all out there. But learn from the experts. Whatever you do, I always say, if you're not sure about doing something, speak to an expert. Claire, it's like me. I go and get my hair done it's every 8 weeks now. It used to be every month, but every 8 weeks, because there's no way I'm doing it myself. I can go to Boots and buy what I need and save myself 100 quid every time, hairdresser, but there is no way that I would use a box, because one, I know I'd bugger it up, and two, do you know what? I can't be bothered. Really can't. But and I love what my hair doesn't look great today because I've just pinned it back. Because I haven't had time to do it this morning. But it's about thinking of the expert. It's the expert every single time. And you are an expert. All of you are experts in what you do. Okay. Abba needs to start using LinkedIn again. Yes, it's great. And if you are going to start using LinkedIn, message me about my LinkedIn engagement pod. So what we do, I have a WhatsApp group and we're all on LinkedIn. Okay. We every day when we're putting each day that we're putting a LinkedIn post out, we support each other with commenting and interacting on each other's posts, and it works really, really well. Okay, so just message me if you want more information about that as well. Pippa said she hadn't thought about using your LinkedIn connections. Yep, your LinkedIn connections will be on other platforms. Whether they use them or not, I don't know. But remember, they have access to more people. Use them as your network. So, Sarah's here, but Sarah's got 10 friends. Sarah's 10 friends have got 10 friends, and so on and so on and so on and so on, until you're built. How do you think I built my friends, my network? Through all of my social media and marketing and everything else. I've got 25,000 connections. Okay. That hasn't come from me just sitting here not doing anything. That's me going out and connecting with people. And then people will, when you start it, people then start coming back to you as well. And you can pick and choose who you connect with as well. Abbas asked, what would you say is the best scheduler to use for all 3 platforms? Okay, so this is a bit of a difficult one, and this is confusing. So I will only recommend a social media scheduler that we use. We did a trial last year on a few. There is one called Metrical, which is good. Some of my team really like that. I'm not a fan of it, only from a point of view that it didn't do what we needed to do within an agency. But from your point of view, it's really, really good. We in the agency use one called Simplified, and it's really good. So it has AI built in. It has a Canva thing built in. It allows you to edit videos, and you can have all your social media platforms on there as well. I will put a link for the Simplified in so that you can have a look at it. Okay, and you and just have a play around with it. They've got a free version on there as well. But there aren't many free schedulers out there. You'll find some that will allow you to do 10 posts for free or over 3 platforms, but there aren't. Unfortunately, if you want to use a scheduler, you're gonna need to pay. But this is a bit of a bonus, and if you're prepared to just kind of work with it, might take a little bit longer, not a lot longer. So with Facebook and Instagram, you've got Meta Business Suite. If you are doing Reels on Instagram, you need your Reels account to be a professional or creator account. Now, if your account is a professional creator account, unfortunately, some schedulers won't allow you to schedule to Instagram because they require you to be a business account. But if you're doing Reels, you can't have a business account. It's got to be a creator account in order to access all of the functions. So using Meta Business Suite is the best way, because you can then do your Facebook and your Instagram there. Then on LinkedIn, they have their own built-in scheduler. All the social media platforms now have their own built-in scheduler. So Facebook has Business Suite for groups, Instagram, and your business page. Your personal profile is, if it's professional mode, you can schedule on your phone. It hasn't come through on desktop yet. LinkedIn, you can schedule on desktop and your mobile, but unfortunately you can't edit the posts while they're in schedule mode. You can edit them once they've gone live, but you can reschedule them, but you can't edit them. You can't do it on videos, and you can't do it on carousels. Instagram, they're just rolling out scheduling on there. I've got the scheduler on Instagram, but I'm not a fan of it at the moment. It's still a bit glitchy, so I use Business Suite for that. or you can use a scheduler where everything is in. As I said, we use Simplified because we have quite a lot of clients that we do social media for. So we need unlimited accounts, unlimited team, unlimited. If I told you what I spend on scheduling each month, you would be shocked. But you're normally going to pay anything between £10 and £25 a month for a scheduler, but it will save you time because it allows you to create all your content. It allows you to post it when you want to. It allows you to post it at a time you want to. But it also, what we love about Simplified, it has a back catalogue. So when you're repurposing content, you can just go back to the date that you originally put it out, and then you can just repurpose it for the date and time and change it for what you need from there. So there's lots of different options out there. It's just finding the right one for you. Do a Google search of social media scheduling. A lot of them have trials, free trials. Go and play around and see what works. Okay. Elaine has said, I have a group for my parents to be more social and share things just to them. I ask their opinions too, so I know that I'm open and listening to them. Yeah, it's good to ask your clients what they want, okay? What they want from you, what they want from your services. Don't take it on too much. I often see posts where people put, if I was to run a training day, what day of the week would you like me to run it? Would you like it on this time or that? It's good to get a view, but don't take that. Work with your gut instinct. I've done this so many times in the past where people have said to me, oh, we want it on a Wednesday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I run it on a Wednesday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then no one shows up. So don't always go, but it just gives you an idea. Okay. Okay. So yeah, think about how you can schedule and use your social media platforms as well. And this is basically then when you've connected with people, it's building relationships. So it's interacting with their posts, and this is what you need to build in to your social media on a daily basis, is interacting with other people while you're waiting for the kettle to boil. Don't scroll. People spend on average 2 hours and 32 minutes a day scrolling without any productivity. Okay, turn that time into time where it can help you grow your business. So while instead of scrolling through while the kettle's boiling, go onto Facebook, connect with people, interact with people, drop people a message. Hi, thanks for sending me the friend request. Really, really great to connect with you. I'd love to know more about what you do, and build those relationships. You're not going in for the kill, okay? You're not going in with, oh, hi, I'm Sam. I'm a social media expert. Here's a link to my group. I want you to buy this program. Sign up for this because I'm going to help you smash your social media this year. Not at all. It's about building relationships. And what you can then do is think to yourself, okay, I'm going to connect with 10 people today, and I'm going to start interacting on their posts. And it's so easy to do. It really is. And if you factor it into your day, when the washing machine says our washing machine's got a timer on it and it tells me it's got 1 minute, it's lying to me. It's actually 3 or 4. I swear it is. So, but there are times that I will do it. If you're someone that does the school run, you're waiting at the school gate. I don't take my phone on the school run with me. But if you are, just do it then. Think of times when, worst thing, Tesco's, okay, and you're right at the end of the queue. Great. You can get on and do things like that then as well. Francis says while she's doing her pelvic floor, yep, 3 times a day, pelvic floor, great opportunity. And also you could sync that in as well. So while you're doing your pelvic floor, I do mine 3 times a day. You can now think to yourself, right, pelvic floor is my interacting social media time as well. So you're doing 2 things at once. Come on, we can multitask, can't we? So yeah, so think about how you're going to interact. Now, how do we move on to the next part where we do start to drop in we're sliding a DM into them, but we're selling to them without selling? When you've started building these connections and you've started interacting with other people's posts, they'll start interacting with yours. They'll comment, they'll interact. And then this is where you then need to start dropping them a message. Hi, I saw that you were interested in my post. Here's a little bit more information about that. Or let's say, for example, I asked the question, what's your biggest stress at the moment in your business? and someone reacts or someone comments, I can then go to the DMs, the messages, direct messages, and say to them, oh hi, you showed, you liked my post this morning, but I'd love to know what your biggest stress is at the moment. And then you're building that conversation. So that's why it's really important to ask these questions sometimes. Think about what questions do you get asked a lot in your business that you think are your top, frequently asked questions that your clients ask. How can you turn those into social media posts so that people will answer them, so that you've got an opportunity to send them a direct message? Okay. Yeah, the washing machine does lie. My dishwasher's a lot better. That behaves itself, but the washing machine doesn't. So, Pippa, this might be a silly question. One rule, guys. What's the rule in there with me? No such question is a silly question. So ask away. I think I'm a little confused by using my personal Facebook page as a business page. Do I have to change the settings, or do you mean that what I would post on LinkedIn, I post to my Facebook personal profile? Okay, so how Facebook is structured is Facebook business page. These are the traditional pages. We put posts out and people like and follow our page, and whoever likes and follows our page, they'll roughly see our posts. The reach on business pages at the moment can be anything from 6 to 23%. Okay, that's pretty much what we have. Okay, your personal profile is where you are hanging out. Okay, that is your main umbrella for Facebook. Your page comes under that, and then all your groups, all your stories, all your reels comes under your main personal profile. There is an option now to change personal profiles into professional mode. You do this going to desktop, and the three buttons just below your banner, and it will ask you if you'd like to switch to professional mode. Professional mode turns your personal profile into professional. Okay, you're not losing anything, but what it gives you is the ability to schedule. It gives you the ability to look at insights, but it stays the same, but everything is public. Okay, so it's like a business page, but it's still your personal profile. But what you can do with your posts, you can decide whether they're public or whether they are private to your friends. Okay, but go and have a look at my Facebook, and you will see mine is professional mode. Doesn't mostly look any different to yours, but what you will see is I'm using it to promote my business, and that's what you're kind of using it. So you're kind of taking off this personal head and putting a business head on, and that's all it would. But yes, you would then put the same content on Facebook to what you're putting on LinkedIn. So if you follow me on my business page, personal profile, which is my professional page on Facebook, you're in my group, you're on Instagram, and you follow me, and we're connected on LinkedIn. This morning, you would have seen exactly the same post go out. Okay, because what goes on LinkedIn pretty much goes on Facebook. What goes on my Facebook goes on my business page. What goes on Facebook will normally kind of be somewhere in the same message on Instagram as well. Okay, so don't think that you've got to create different content. It might just be that content needs to be tweaked. Okay, so you've found what platforms you're working on. You're using them now to, these are going to help me build my business. Okay, this is my shop window. Okay, I've got to, when you're walking down the high street and you see a beautiful shop and you see a lovely outfit in the window, what do? You walk in there. Okay, if I walk down the high street and I see a beautiful shop window and I go in, and then in that shop everything is just like chaotic, which is normally New Look, TK Maxx, River Island, and you're just kind of like, oh my God, there's too much stuff here, can't cope with this, I walk straight back out again. It's about, I love shops that are simple, and I can find the item that I saw in the window and I can go and buy it. That's what your social media's got to be. Your profiles are your shop window. Your content is inside your shop. but you've got to make it really simple for people to find out what it is that you do and for them to connect and interact with your posts as well. Then once you start connecting with people and they're interacting, that's when you start building these relationships and telling people what it is that you do, and then growing that relationship so that they grow to trust you. They grow to know what it is that you do. It takes time, doesn't happen overnight. Remember the 27 rule? Got to see things 27 times in order to trust and buy it. But you've just got to keep on at it. It's like the wall, throwing all the mud at the wall, see how much sticks. And the more mud you throw at that wall, the more it's going to stick. All right. So it is. And this is why all over the last 4 days, everything has worked. So today's task, okay, is I would like you to go and connect with 10 people, all right, on one of your social media platforms. That's all I would like you to do, okay? It's quite scary, and that's why you might think, oh, is that all I need to do today? Is I just want you to go and connect with those 10 people and then interact with 10 other people on your social media platform that is your ideal client, okay? And then that would then give you the opportunity to then start thinking about how you could possibly start messaging them. And you might want to put a post out today that asks a question so that you can get people replying to that, which enables you to then drop them a message. So my question, if I was going to put something out, would be, what is your biggest stress with your social media at the moment? And people will put consistency, time, visibility. Then what I can do is I can drop people a message in the direct message and just kind of say to them, okay, thanks for responding. This is how, this is what I would suggest doing. And why do you feel like that? And just building relationships up with them as well. So, okay, Abba, when is the best time to post? Again, no right and there's no wrong. You have insights on your social media platforms. Go and have a look at those and let your insights tell you when the best times are. But again, for me, I tend to, as long as you're leaving that gap, like that 4-hour gap between posts, it's fine. But there is no right and wrong. The best way to do it is think about when your ideal client might be on social media. Bearing in mind that we are on social media 2 hours and 32 minutes a day, and each time we're on is on average 18 minutes, you're never going to capture all of your audience. So you might want to say to yourself, right, 1 week I'll do it in the morning, 1 week I'll do it in the afternoon, 1 week lunchtime, 1 week evening. I put my posts out morning and evening. And the reason why I do that is because that's pretty much when my target audience are mostly on their social media. But also, if I need to get a third post out, I can put it out midday because my post has gone out in the morning. I can then put something out at lunchtime, and then I've got the opportunity for something to go out in the evening as well. Because there are days that I've got 3 posts going out today. So, some days I just need to have that opportunity. But there's no right, there's no wrong. Think of where your ideal clients are. Think about what time they get up, what time they go to bed, when's their downtime, when's their screen time, and then think about when your posts go out. But look at your insights as well. Okay. So I have a little bit of a bonus for you. We've done the 4-day challenge on Monday at 9:30 here in the group. I'm going to run a training session with you. Okay, I'm going to be sharing all my tips and tricks to help you. Kind of, you've had the jigsaw puzzle. You've got all the bits from this week that are going to help you. Monday, I will be on from, as I said, from 9:30. And I'm going to share all of my knowledge, tips on all platforms to how you can then take that through. Okay. Anybody that is in wanting to do all the challenges and be in with a chance to win the prizes, you have until Sunday evening. Okay. I don't mind what time Sunday evening, because Monday morning I will be picking all the winners and I will be announcing them all on Monday. Okay. If you so that's what I'm going to be doing on Monday for you as well. So I can hope you can join on Monday. Right. I'm now going to pick the winner of the one-to-one, because I said it is. I've got everyone in the bowl that entered. So this was people that added people to the group. I'm just going to pick one out at random. I've written them all on the same size paper, all in the same name. Who is it? Ah, Louise. Okay, Louise has won the 2-hour session with me. So I will message her and I will get that booked in. I don't think Louise is on, but I know that she's been doing bits and pieces. I think she's working today, so she's been catching up. And then on Monday, I will announce the winners for the social media training day that's in May. Who's going to win the access to my Let's Get Social training? So everybody that finishes the so if you want to win, being with a chance to win a space at my training day, that's using the hashtag. Okay, so anybody that has used the hashtag Accelerate Your Business Challenge will get put into that prize draw. If you want to gain access to my Let's Get Social training worth £100, that is my training that I launched last month. It's 10 pre-recorded trainings that you can go through covering Facebook, LinkedIn, Canva. All you've got to do is complete all of the challenges for this week. Okay. And then if you want to be in with a chance to win a planner bundle, that's one of my planners and the desktop ones as well. I'm just going to pick someone from random that I think has kind of stood out, okay, from there. And I will announce all of those on Monday, but you have until Sunday night to do everything, okay? I'll put the hashtag in today's post as well. So today's challenge is go and connect with 10 people on a social media platform, go and interact with them, and why not put a post out asking a question and see what interaction you get. Just bear in mind that Fridays can sometimes be a little bit of a, depending on who's watching, can sometimes be a bit of a slow day, but if you don't put it out there, you don't know. It's about taking that first step. Okay, anyone, if you have got any questions, let me know, pop them below. If you're watching this on a replay, give me a hashtag replay, and I will catch you all on Monday for the bonus training. See you later. Bye.